In this video, we're going to be discussing programs. Programs are just a fancy word for patches or presets in Halion. So they basically just save all of the settings that we have for a given instrument to make it easier to be able to recall them at a later time. Now here I have Halion opened up in Cubase Pro 9, and it's opened as a track instrument. And if you're using any other DAW software, all of the same concepts that I'll be discussing within Cubase are going to be applicable. So even if you're using Pro Tools, Sonar, Logic, or Ableton. And we're going to get started again by loading the default factory screen set. So click on the Screen Sets tab and choose the default factory screen set. And the best way to get an idea of what a program is to start by loading one. And we do that from the Media Bay tab in Halion. So from the default screen set, make sure you're under the Load Record tab and the Media Bay tab. Otherwise, you won't see the Media Bay. Another note that I want to make is that if you've tinkered around with Halion before this video, some of the view settings in the Media Bay might be a little bit different from what you're seeing in this video. So we're going to start by clicking the Reset Filter button, which will reset any selections that we've made in the Media Bay. And these category columns, I want you to make sure you have them set the same way as I do. So we have category, subcategory, style, and character. And you can do that by clicking the down arrow in these columns and then selecting them from the submenus. So again, category, subcategory, style, and character. I only mention that because I have noticed this first column here. Sometimes it's set to bars and beats and you won't necessarily see any of the categories to select from. So it's going to be much easier just to follow along and make sure you have the same columns as I do here. The other thing is to the right of this filter button, we have a content set drop-down tab, and it basically filters out the different content sets or macros that are available in Halion. So to get started, you'll want to make sure that you have the all instrument sets content set selected. So just click on it and you'll be good to go. And now you can virtually see every sound that ships within Halion down below. So now that everything is reset, we can start by loading a program. First, let's try to figure out what kind of program or sound we want to load. The Media Bay window makes it easy to search for those types of things by selecting different attributes in these columns and filtering out the sounds that have those attributes down below. Let's load up a synth lead program. So let's select synth lead. You'll see there's 489 sounds available. This updates our view with some of the different subcategories that are available, or you can browse through all of them down below. So let's narrow down our search by picking a style. We'll choose Electronica Dance, and now we can see all of the synth lead patches in the Electronica Dance style. If you double click on a program, it will load it up into our slot rack. And it's ready to play. Double clicking on another program will automatically reload it into the current selected sound slot. Now, if you wanted to load a program in addition to this one, you can select a new program from the Media Bay and then drag it and drop it into the slot rack. Now, one thing you'll notice is that when I play, it's still playing this first sound. And that's because you have to remember that each one of these slots correspond to different MIDI channels. So currently in Cubase, we only have one track, and it's set to MIDI channel 1. So if we wanted to play a program on this other slot, we would need to change this to MIDI channel 2. And if we wanted to have multiple MIDI tracks in our project, triggering different sounds in Halion, we need to add an additional MIDI track. So in Cubase, I'm going to right-click, add a MIDI track, and then just make sure that the channels correspond to the different slots that I want to play. So on this track, I'll set this to MIDI channel 1. And on this track, I'll set this to MIDI channel 2. Now, each time I play a sound on any one of the tracks, they'll correspond to that particular slot in Halion. So I'm going to record a few chords here on that second program in Halion. Now, on the other slot, I'm going to find a slightly different sound. I don't like the arpeggiator, so let's try to find a straight ahead lead sound. So I'm going to select this first slot, double click on this macro rave lead program to replace this short trans program. And now I'll record a MIDI sequence onto this track up above. So you can easily see with one instance of Halion, we can get multiple sounds and sequences to control these programs. I'm going to make an additional MIDI track here. I'm going to set this to, let's say, MIDI channel 4 this time. I'm also going to reveal the hidden slots. Now this time, let's come down here to number 17. And I'm going to search for a bass sound to play along with this sequence. So let's reset the filters. We'll come up to bass, synth bass, electronica dance, and let's try to find a program that has an analog character. Let's pick lunar bass here. Now this time, we're going to just drag it and drop it right onto this slot here. One thing you'll notice when I play my MIDI keyboard, we get MIDI signal on the MIDI track, but we're not activating the sounds in that slot. And if you look in our MIDI channels, we only have 16 channels. So if you remember from our previous video, I was describing how the 64 slot channels are distributed through different ports. So we have 4 ports of 16 available channels. If we wanted to activate channel 17, we need to come down to port B, and it's actually going to be MIDI channel 1. So port B would control slots 17 through 32, port C controls slots 33 through 48, and port D controls slots 49 through 64. So if we wanted to add an additional sound to port 18, for instance, that's going to be channel 2 on port B. So this is an easy way to just add a whole bunch of sounds that you think will work well together. So our slot configuration, or the different programs that we have loaded as a collection, are called multis, which is basically a preset that contains multiple programs. If we want to save this collection of different sounds, we can easily do that by clicking the disk icon above the slot rack. When we click save, the multi-program save dialog comes up. We can give it a name and assign several other attributes that apply to that particular multi we're creating. We'll title this Spacey Synths, and then click OK. Now this time I'm going to hide the empty slots. This is going to save on a lot of the visual clutter. If there's a sound that we don't particularly want to include in Halion, we can remove it by right-clicking and choosing Remove Program. Now, this doesn't delete it from the disk, it just removes it from your slot rack. You can also reset Halion's slot rack by clicking on the trash icon, which will remove all programs from the current instance of Halion. Now, if we ever wanted to recall the multi that we saved, you can click on the down arrow up here, which opens the dialog box to load multi-programs, and then we'll just type in the name of the multi that we saved. Remember, it was Spacey Synths. Double-click to load it, and it will recall that multi just as we saved it. You can also view the set of preset multis that come with Halion. So we'll reset the filter on the multi-load dialog, and this time, let's load Modern Jazz Quartet. Just double-click on it, wait for it to load, and now we have a grand piano, a bass guitar, a set of vibraphones, and a drum kit. And just remember to take note of the slot number because those are going to correspond with your MIDI channels. Stay tuned, guys. In the next video, we're going to dig into program editing. We'll see you then.